Bickersons Love Letters, written by John and Blanche Bickerson, edited by Ben Ohmart, narrated by Fred Fries. The Bickersons Love Letters by John and Blanche Bickerson, edited by Ben Ohmart. An editor's note. For those few of you who have never heard of the Bickersons or read their rather incredibly eclectic book, The Bickersons' Guide to Marriage, the following may come as a bit of a surprise to you. They were a couple in love, deeply and without deviation. Only the hardships of finances and sleep habits prevailed to make their peculiar pairing historic and bitingly infamous. Here is the story of one passionate man who loved a woman perhaps too much, and she him. Theirs was a mixed marriage, man and woman, that tested the theories of environmental influence and can too many cooks spoil the garbage. Left to their own world, perhaps John and Blanche Bickerson could have remained the boringly unaverage ideal couple. As stocks fall and unemployment bites man's leg, so too do monetary woes capsize the Bickersons' lovey-dovey experiment. Luckily for us, there is a testament to this amazing man and wife from A to Z's. Little was known of the origin of this unfortunate couple, how they met, their backgrounds, why they fell in love in the first place. But thanks to a fortunate bit of fate, we have nearly the whole story before us. Jules Bickerson, only son to the famous fighters, was born late, 1960. Blanche was 44 and John was past dead at 43. Said Jules to this author, "I think my mom had me as a last ditch to get Pop to stop snoring. She figured as long as she was going to be awake every night, she might as well have a kid to bottle." Of course, she assumed it would bring some much-needed union to their sorely lacking union, when in fact it made life nearly the same crapshoot as before. John would drop dead a mere 15 years later, reportedly with a smile on his face, either due to his exceptionally white teeth, thanks to his brand of sensitive bourbon toothpaste, or the fact that he knew he was getting that permanent lone vacation, finally. Being a patient fan of the Bickersons' case as reported in Psychotic Monthly, issue 313, and their globally documented story, I tracked Jules down, himself in the throes of a painfully messy divorce. Forced to sell everything he ever owned for a down payment on his first alimony payment, Jules, a slight man with a bent back and wide, penetrating blue eyes, reached into the garbage that day and sold me his parents' life story via these letters for whatever I had in my wallet that day. The accompanying story of his parents' last days, told over toast and gales of scotch, is not for printing, as it has no basis in reality, unless we are prepared to believe that Blanche finally murdered her husband because Captain Caveman had raised the price of hats beyond thermonuclear control. It's more probable to assume that Jules's crushing breakup he was then enduring was pickling his mind past preserving. The letters, all handwritten in pink ink, Blanche, and pencil, John, are an amazing testimony to the most resilient married couple the world has ever known. Rather well preserved, considering they had been sitting in the garbage for several years, not thrown out, said Jules, for sentimental reasons regarding all that garbage. The pages were of mixed quality paper and easily discernible even from the blank backs. Blanche's notes were crafted on egg-white, heavier stock paper, written in various shades of the aforementioned pink ink. Yes, apparently they are multi-shades, with hearts over the eyes and a small petaled flower within any capital D-O-P-R and hovering in C's, after which she folded the pages into cute animal shapes before inserting them into envelopes. Whereas John's businesslike strikes of dull, bold pencil cut deep into his choice of cheap paper, often cutting through whatever stationery he could get his hands on, furniture store, diner, presidential hopeful, etc., and ripping right through some of his more fiery passages. These passionate exchanges evolved through the entire time of their meeting, dating, and marriage, finally passing into passion of a different nature, as you shall see. Always there is strength between these two, like an alligator against a gorilla. Who wins? Who knows? Ben Ohmart. April 4, 1936. Dear Ms. Peaches, I know we just met, and perhaps writing to you like this seems presumptuous, but I just wanted to let you know how much I enjoyed our dance together. I'd like to see more of you. Would you please accompany me to the drugstore, where it would be my heart's delight to buy you any sort of ice cream and nuts? Your ardent admirer, John Henry Bickerson. April 5th, 1936. Dear Johnny, what a lovely letter! Please call me Blanche. I love the way it falls off your tongue because you don't have any kind of accent at all. I would be delirious and delighted to accompany you, as you so dashingly put it, to the drugstore for an amazing dessert. I can't wait! Please ring my bell at 6 this evening, and please don't bring me flowers. Your sweet smile smells plenty. Warmest regards, your Blanche. April 7, 1936. My darling Blanche, I feel as if I'm walking on air, my sweet, only powered by the wind of your smile, the brightness of your collar-button nose. Ever since the end of the film, when I squeezed both your hands and said goodbye, I have felt a sense of peace and complete calm, only augmented by sublime and supreme happiness. I cannot believe my good fortune at having met you, my darling. I hope you don't mind me calling you that. I believe you are. The Good Fairy is now my favorite film. It is our film now, darling. My arm still goes numb when I think of sitting with you in the dark theater, reaching for the same piece of popcorn, looking at you, missing the middle 23 minutes just looking at you. You move me to poetry, Blanche. I'm sorry if it seems too much too soon, but you have awakened the dapper cry of Keats and Poe from my gushing heart. I want to bemoan to the world what you mean to my interior. Oh, the cry of the ship of the squirrel in dark's hearth quiver. Undying naked flee upon fudge gouging deeply. Love leaning sped mank dank envelopes thither. Where passions pass perhaps seated heatedly. Lore, darling expectorates your long midnight hair. Shirted, trite, abysmal to facelessness apart. Kiss hands, understand, I am to your impassioned affair. All that golden wooden fate, ever only light but dark. That, my dear, is from the bottom of my blissful soul. Until next we meet, I remain J. April 8, 1936. Dearest Johnny, how distant last Tuesday seems already when we met at the Hop. I loved the Hong Kong theme, and you look so lovely as a geisha. I know you said the style was really Japanese and female, but you look so cute. And I really admired your courage, Johnny. All these boys today trying to look so cool and proud and what British royalty calls butch, and everyone on the right side of the room dressed almost identically in samurai costumes. And you there with your long skirt and sticks in your hair. And powder puff faced. Why, you weren't trying to look cool at all. You were so cute. You had the eye of all us girls, Johnny. You must have seen us all staring, whispering. Every girl there wanted to dance with you. And you came right over and chose me. Me! It was the greatest dance of my life, Johnny. I was floating. It was the first time I ever got to lead. I thought it was so sweet that you wanted to remain in character. I really admire that kind of manliness. You have real command, confidence. You don't care what others think. I don't care what you think either. You're my one and only this week, darling John. I will call you John, I think, if you don't mind. You are so manly and important. You are my John. Your B. April 8, 1936. Lovely B. I had to run out and buy a new pen because of you. I gladly did so I could answer you personally, immediately, because I could not wait, my darling. It is all I can do to contain myself not to contract in this passionate missive. You have given my heart wings, sweetest of sweethearts, and I can see it winging out the window now, towards you, and where you live. Never in my 24 years of life have I been this happy. I wish you were here to pinch me now. I have seen a dream walking, and it is you. Are you walking after my winging heart, darling? April 10, 1936. Dearest Blanche, where are you? Your own John. April 11th, 1936. Dear John, and a good Dear John letter it is. Here I am. I'm so sorry, darling. I'm afraid I got hold of some day-old dating advice and applied it long after it went bad. How's that for poetic? You are rubbing off on me, darling. I asked my friend, Gloria Wintz. You met her at the dance. You called her loose legs because of her stockings. What I should do about you, silly boy, since we talk so often on the phone. Should I stop writing him letters, I asked, because we talk for at least an hour, sometimes hours for an evening. Well, I won't tell you her official advice, but rest assured she is now stricken off my Christmas list, darling, because I would never hurt you or ignore you by post for anything. Your last short note hurt me deeply, John. I did not mean to disappear. Not after our amazing, terrific trip down memory lane at Dirk's Carnival. What a wonder! I'd never been on a car ride like that before, where if you don't step on the gas and use your turning signal, the car doesn't even move. What fun! And it was so nice of you to let me pay for the evening. You were so sweet and shy the way you asked me for the money to try to win, but lost that beautiful pink-yellow Labrador Retriever dog that would have been wonderful to bring home. I'll always remember it